I've worked with Leon for many, many years at the Jewish Museum, where they have an exhibition about his life and his mission. It was a very difficult moment coming into this house and no Leon. And, you know, first of all, he lived for 97 years. I mean, he's had amazing longevity, and he was such a force. The house really is in disarray. I mean, he lived on his own. Perhaps some of the other survivors who marry again, build a home and have a family. Leon had nobody. In Leon's bedroom here, there was a lot of stuff that was ready to really throw, but underneath a pile of old clothes, I found this throat lozenge box, and it might be the thing you just throw away. But I had a look inside, and I found a note, handwritten note. Leon was great with his notes, and this note seems to be sort of written for the person who found the tin. It says, "Our wedding rings of my wife Else and me Leon." And he then goes on to say what he would like done with these rings, and he talks about the fact that he'd like to get them soldered into one. And then inside, in this very old envelope, I find 2 wedding rings, gold. One large one and one smaller one. The wedding rings of Leon and his wife Elsa. Now, Leon in 1942 gave his precious objects, important material, to 2 non-Jewish friends. He gave them to them because he feared that he was going to be taken away somewhere, and when he returned, he wanted to retrieve them. Leon Greenman, his wife Elsa, and Barney, 2.5-year-old Barney, were deported, first of all to Westerbork camp in Holland, and then onward to Auschwitz-Birkenau. Within a few hours, Elsa and Barney had been murdered. Leon had been selected for work and didn't know the fate of his wife and child. In fact, survived the many camps that he lived through with the thought that perhaps they were still alive and that they'd be reunited. So when Leon returned after the war, his search was to find out what had happened. And all that he had were these materials that his friend had kept safe. And these rings must have been in that pile of material that went into the safekeeping of his non-Jewish friend. And Leon must have gone back and retrieved them and stayed with him all those years.